Hey everybody, I'm here today to share with you how I colored with my alcohol markers using some digital stamps. Now this video is very short. There's not a whole lot to it other than coloring. I kept this card pretty clean and simple and really focused on the coloring. Now I'm using digital stamps from Digi Stamps for Joy. I will link their shop down below. And this is from the brand new release from today. This set is called Candy Kebabs. It is awesome. It comes with 4 candy kebabs individual images, the JPEGs and the PNG images, and it also comes with a sentiment. I chose not to use the sentiment on this card, but it is there and it's a good one. Now, I printed off using a laser printer, and from what I've read online, printing off and using your alcohol markers is going to be trial and error. To be safe, if you have a laser printer, use it. However, if you have an inkjet printer, I've read that some people find theirs works, others don't. Some tricks that they had for getting them to work were really waiting for the ink to dry, and also spraying with a fixative might help before you color. So again, trial and error, do what works for you. I do want to say that my laser printer is one I use for everyday printing. My son prints all the time. I print all the time because I am on the design team for Digi Stamps for Joy, so I'm printing a lot of digital images off. I do a lot of foiling, and I also use this for my everyday printing. I am still on the same toner cartridge that I got with my printer, and my printer on sale at Best Buy was only like $50–$60. So it's not a whole lot, and your ink does last a lot longer, which I'm very appreciative of. With my inkjet, I've pretty much quit using it just because the ink I was going out and rebuying almost after like 25 prints is all I would get with it. It was really, really a low number. And if you have kids, you know they like to print a lot, coloring pages and word searches. So this really works out for me in the long run. Now, I just printed off onto white cardstock. Check your printer settings to make sure that it can handle the cardstock you're putting through it. You don't want to get a jam. And then I just came in and I used a lot of these different alcohol markers, Dick Blick Studio brush markers on this. I tried to use the same colors across the card to keep it more cohesive, and then I came in finally with just 2 gray markers and outlined the images just to make them pop off the page a little bit more so it's not stark white. Now, to keep this card nice and clean and simple, I've got a 1/2 inch of black cardstock. I'm not really sure how long it is because I'm going to be cutting it down here in a minute. I went ahead and prepped that with my embossing bag just to keep my stray powders down to a minimum. And I'm just going to ink up this stamp. It is from a Lawn Fawn stamp set. I will link it over on my blog. It's the baking stamp set. I'm not sure of the exact name. And I'm just going to stamp that down on the left side of that black strip of cardstock in Versamark ink. Now I'll go ahead and throw on some white embossing powder. Mine's from Stampin' Up. I don't recommend this one. It's not a fine embossing powder, and I've burned it one too many times. If I were you, I would pick a different one. I've heard Hero Arts is very good, and also Ranger always has great embossing powders. I went ahead and heat set that sentiment that says "Have a Sweet Birthday." And then I also attached some double-sided adhesive to the back of my panel that I colored and printed off. Now, my panel measured 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I made sure I printed with crop marks just so I would have a nice sized panel to fit over an A2 side folding card base, and it would cover the entire thing. I wanted this to look like a 1-layer card. However, if you're using alcohol markers, you know you really can't get a 1-layer card with them. You really have to just attach that top layer over unless you don't mind the bleed through. So with my sentiment panel, I chopped off part of that, and then I'm just going to cut straight up the middle and then come in from both sides to create a fishtail banner. And then I'll add some foam tape on the back of that, peel off the backing, and just attach that to the lower left hand corner of this card base, and that finished off the card. I hope you guys found this I hope you guys found this short video helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the coloring. I'll leave you guys with a close-up and a few pictures. For more information and the supply list, you can head to my blog, craftingallcaffeinated.wordpress.com. The link is in the description box below, as in the top right hand corner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy crafting!